In this video, we're going to cover the top 5 pizza advertising ideas that are proven to grow pizzerias. First, we're going to talk about the best strategy for getting new customers offline. I'll give you a hint on this one. It has been used by top performing businesses for the past 100 years, but only a few top pizzerias have figured it out. And it was invented by one of the top performing pizzeria owners in the country, Scott Anthony. Second, we're going to cover the best strategy for getting new customers online and how one pizzeria in a small town is using it to get over 90 new customers every single month from Google without paying a penny in Google Ads. There's actually multiple secrets involved here, which we'll discuss separately. At the end, we'll cover the biggest factor in Domino's success and the results that my friends at Metro Pizza, John and Sam, have seen by building it into their independent 4-location restaurant. So let's dive right into it. The first pizza advertising idea is targeting new movers with a personalized letter. Like I mentioned, I learned this one from the owner of Punxsy Pizza, Scott Anthony, because he's used it over the years to get over 500 new customers in his town of just 5,000 people. To give you some background on how he discovered this strategy, he entered the pizza business 29 years ago because he felt that nobody in his town was doing pizza right. And he was correct about that. He took over this failing pizza place and started crushing it from the very beginning by nailing his recipe, providing great service, learning everything he could about restaurant operations, and then executing it well. But then he saw the competitive landscape get way more competitive over the years. His town, Punxsutawney, which only has a population of 5,000 people, saw 3 major pizza franchises that opened in addition to 10 independent pizzerias. So 12 pizza places were competing in a town of 6,000 people, and his market became 4 times more competitive than the national average for pizzerias. That was a pretty scary position to be in because there was so much competition for so few customers. So it was no longer enough to be amazing at just operations, he also needed to become amazing at marketing. To do that, he tried all sorts of different things and eventually invented this brilliant strategy which drives him over 20 new customers every single month like clockwork using direct mail. Over the years, he tells me it's gotten him over 500 new customers that he can measure down to the penny. The results he's seeing are epic, to say the least. They've led to him being a top performer in the national pizza community, increasing his sales by over 600% since he took over that pizza place, and now being a multi-award winning operator and leader in the pizza world. What Scott specifically does is he partners with a direct mail company called Moving Targets. They pull a list every month of everybody that has moved in to the zip codes around his pizzeria. I've heard multiple good things about that particular company, but multiple companies in the pizza world do it. Then what he does is he filters that list a few different ways to make sure that the people that he sends mail to are the best fits with the highest likelihood of being regulars. The first filter he applies is filtering for people that just moved into his town from a zip code outside of town to make sure that it is truly new people who weren't just changing addresses. That way, he could make sure that they didn't already have a go-to pizza place because they're actually new to the town. The second filter he applies is looking for families rather than single people. Families have a higher average check size since they tend to order pizza for the whole family. He has one other requirement of the list, which is a minimum household income of over $50,000 to make sure that they're the type of people who can afford to regularly order his premium pizza rather than the people who just go for the cheapest option, which will always be like the Domino's of the world. And then, after having his direct mail company filter that marketing list with those requirements, he sends all of those people moving into his community this personalized letter that arrives less than 3 weeks from the time they move in. In that letter, he welcomes them to the community and gives them an offer that is too good to resist. At the top, I'll put it on the screen, you can see he says, "Welcome to the neighborhood," and has pictures of his mouth-watering food as a hook to catch the eye. Actually, I'll just put it on screen for you here. See, Mom? I'm a real YouTuber now. I can put things on screen. You can see it starts by addressing the customer by name and building authority, as well as having a nice headline of "Welcome to the neighborhood." Specifically, it says, "Hello, John. I'm Scott Anthony, the owner of Punxsy Pizza, and I'd like to welcome you to the neighborhood. We've been serving traditional and gourmet Italian pizzas and specialty hoagies to our loyalty friends in Punxsutawney and the surrounding area for many years. Our pizzolos have the experience and expertise to delight your taste buds. 4 times we have won Pennsylvania's Restaurant Neighborhood Award. The award celebrates and highlights the outstanding charitable service performed by restaurants." This is so perfectly executed from a marketing perspective because Scott is not only building authority in their customers' minds, but he also has an irresistible offer where he says, "We hope you'll give us the opportunity to introduce ourselves and provide you with a great meal. Just use the attached gift certificate for 1 free medium pizza with unlimited toppings. All of us at Punxsy Pizza are excited for the chance to meet you." What's so brilliant about this is that pizza might be $17 on the menu and has a relatively high food cost of around 30% or $5. But because of the way Scott is targeting customers only of higher income families that just moved into town, he can be pretty sure that the people he's giving these freebies to become regulars once they taste his food. That they're not just doing it for the deal and then moving on, like most customers that you give discounts to in the restaurant industry. Then his letter gives the customer more details on the differentiators of his menu and shares more detail on the dishes they offer. Then he signs off with his name and a pen signature to make it feel even more personalized to the customer. Personalization in this campaign is so key. It can't feel like it's coming from a corporation or it's not going to work this well. It has to feel like it's coming from the caring person who owns a business in the community and wants to reach out and welcome them. Now, let's walk through the numbers of this campaign. He sends less than 50 of these letters per month because there's less than 50 people who move into that town per month that meet those requirements. And they cost him under $2 each to send to those less than 50 people through Moving Targets, his mail company. Anyway, here's the crazy thing. On those letters he sends out, his redemption rate is over 80%. There's typically only 30 new movers into his town each month. So that means that he usually gets around 24 of them redeeming that offer, like clockwork. So let's say all in, including the service from the direct mail company, it costs him $200 per month for 24 new customers. That means it's $8.33 in marketing to get each new customer. Now, he does have a high food cost to factor in here as well, because he's giving away a free medium pizza with unlimited toppings. So let's say it has an average 30% food cost, or around $5 in food per customer as well. That's now $13.33. Here's the best part. When they get that free unlimited medium pizza, they also order other high profit menu items because he's targeting families who want appetizers, beverages, or desserts to pair with it. His average check size as a result, even on these first customers, is over $40. It costs him $13.33 all in to buy a transaction that's worth over $40, including the appetizers, beverages, and desserts, which by the way, all have a very low food cost and are almost pure profit to him as a restaurant owner. So he actually makes a few dollars on that first order where he's acquiring the customer. But the real money is made because these people who just moved into the town now love him because he gave them a free pizza to welcome them, which is an amazing experience. They weren't by definition already loyal to a pizza place, so then they start ordering from him on average a few times a month with no need to give them any more free items or offers. Let's say the average check is $40 and the average family orders twice per month. That means he makes $80 per month each, or $960 per year each, on customers that he acquires for less than $15 all in. $15 to buy a $960 per year customer is a pretty good deal. And regulars typically last for well over a year if your food is great. Over the years that he's been using it, it's helped him acquire over 500 trackable regular customers, driving hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales over the course of those customers' lives for less than $10,000 in total marketing costs. It's helped make him nationally recognized as one of the top performing independent pizzerias in the USA. It works so well because it uses three of the most powerful ideas in marketing. First, it has an irresistible offer with the most powerful word of all: free. Free medium pizza. This could work well for any restaurant concept, but the offer has to be irresistible, like a free entree, to maximize redemption rate. Second, it has personalization. It's addressing that customer by name, and then at the bottom, Scott's name and Scott's signature. It's not from Punxsy Pizza, importantly, it's from the owner, Scott. That makes customers pay more attention to it because people love to buy from and support and connect with each other in the same community, not strangers. It also has a bunch of pictures of his most popular dishes included, which we all know in restaurants is important because people love to first eat with their eyes. It's an absolutely amazing strategy that any restaurant can use to acquire new customers for a super low food cost in a way that is trackable down to the penny, since they have to redeem a coupon in order to use it. Then he can track what those customers spend over time to see his return on marketing dollars over the course of a year. There's one more offline strategy that's worth covering before we get into the online strategies for pizzerias. But before we get to that next pizza marketing idea, if you've gotten value from this video so far and want to see more breakdowns on what's working today to grow a restaurant business, then click that subscribe button down below. It's totally free, and we'll send you emails when new videos get posted to make sure you never miss out on the latest ways to grow a restaurant. I see thousands of restaurants' marketing numbers with my company and constantly share the biggest learnings from them, just like I am in this video. So, on to the next best offline strategy before we get into the online stuff. That is number 2, running a crazy food challenge. Because in a country with 78,301 pizzerias like the United States, how do you stand out from the other 78,300? What is something that drives in customers and spreads word of mouth because it's innovative and exciting and unpredictable? The answer? A food challenge. That's exactly what Callum Davies, the owner of Hell's Pizza in New Zealand, did in 2012. They launched their Pizza Roulette Challenge, which which invited customers to order a pizza with a twist. One random slice on that pizza would include 2 drops of ghost pepper chili sauce, the hottest peppers in the world. If that sounds like a challenge you'd want to be a part of, you're not alone. Because not only did Hell's Pizza have their biggest sales day ever during this event, seeing a spike of over $3,000 per day versus their usual, but the challenge made international headlines, and a once unknown pizzeria became a global tourist destination for many people visiting New Zealand. If that sounds like a challenge you'd want to try, you're not alone. Because not only did Hell's Pizza have their biggest sales day ever during this event, but the challenge made international headlines, and a once unknown pizzeria became a global tourist destination for many people visiting New Zealand. They've since expanded from 1 location to over 10 locations and have continued to grow with creative marketing stunts. Lucky for you, it has been 10 years now since Callum came up with this challenge in New Zealand. It would probably make headlines and go viral again on social media if executed correctly in this country or another country. But want to know the best part? It cost Hell's Pizza almost nothing to run this promotion. All they had to do was buy the ghost pepper sauce, which is less than $10, and then they paid for $500 worth of Facebook ads to kick things off. Their return on investment was through the roof. They literally saw thousands of dollars in additional sales in addition to the international press they received. But that was in 2012 and in New Zealand. What about a newer example that took place here in the United States? The one that comes to mind here is similar. It's the 72-ounce steak challenge that RJ Lee, the owner of the Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, created. The rules of the challenge are simple. Eat a 72-ounce steak with sides in under an hour without leaving the table until your challenge is over. If you manage to do it, your meal is completely free. But if you lose, you're on the hook for the whole bill. Even better, the challenge takes place in the center of this restaurant, with diners watching you as you eat and a huge red timer on the wall counting down. It works because it's become a spectacle and a tourist attraction. It not only improves the experience of the people trying the challenge, but everybody in the restaurant has fun watching the people trying it. And it's so unique that what do those people do as soon as they catch up with their friends and family? They tell them about what they just saw over dinner. People come in from all over to take this challenge and to eat in the now famous restaurant that hosts it. It has literally become one of the main tourist attractions in Amarillo, Texas. Pizzerias are perfect for this type of challenge because they tend to be so casual and community oriented that these types of crazy challenges actually help. In a pizzeria, the equivalent might be duplicating the pizza roulette challenge for a week on your menu and promoting it. Or it could be more similar to the 72-ounce steak challenge, but with a huge and decadent pizza like a fully loaded Sicilian pizza. The key is in making it fun, yet challenging for the customer to participate in, and unique and funny enough that people will want to tell their friends about it after seeing it. At this point, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that's great and all for getting new press and building a buzz with crazy promotions, but what's a sustainable ad strategy that I can use for getting new customers online? The best one I've seen is actually number 3 in this video. It works like crazy for a reason that wasn't obvious to me at first that I'll explain in a moment. So that brings us to number 3 of 5, showing up at the top of Google for the term pizza, but without paying for Google ads. One of the best examples of this strategy comes from my friend Chris, the owner of Brooklyn Pizza in Short Hills, New Jersey. When I first met Chris in March of 2022, his pizzeria, Brooklyn Pizza, wasn't anywhere to be found at the top of Google. But now, when you search for best pizza in Short Hills, New Jersey, or pizza in Short Hills, New Jersey, or New York pizza while you're in Short Hills, or dozens of other terms on Google, that drives him an average of 97 new customers every month like clockwork without needing to do any discounts. And this is in a town, Short Hills, New Jersey, with a population of just 13,000. So you can imagine what happens when you achieve a top Google ranking for pizza in a bigger city than that. But Brooklyn Pizza doesn't have the highest review count or the highest review average even. It just has 4 out of 5 stars. Yet he shows up at the top of Google and beats his higher rated competitors. You're probably wondering, how on earth did he do it then if it wasn't the reviews? He uses the SEO tips I'm about to explain in this video. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it means the things that you do to show up at the top of Google. It's especially powerful for pizzerias because they're the most searched for restaurant cuisine that exists. Thousands of people in every city in the United States are searching for pizza every month. SEO is way more powerful than even social media for getting new customers because of those searches. And here is specifically why. When people are searching for pizza near them, they're already hungry. They're already looking to buy pizza. So they're much easier to convert into new customers. But when people are on Facebook, they're not there to search for the best pizza spot. They're there to interact with their Aunt Susie and their friend Carl. So when they see your post about pizza, they're not likely to be ready to order it from you then and there. They might not be in the mood, or they might already have a pizzeria that they're loyal to. That's the magic of SEO. It basically filters you in front of all of the people in your area every month who want a new pizzeria to try. They don't need to be convinced to want that. They already do. They're just looking for the best option. And when you show up first, when they're searching for best pizza in your city, they assume that you're the best. So now that you understand how powerful it is, let me break down the top 3 things that Chris did to increase his rankings. I know what worked for Chris because he used my company at owner.com to do them, but I'll share them completely for free here. Number 1, proper keyword density. Keyword is a fancy word for the thing that people type into Google that you want to show up for. For most restaurant types, you have to research what the type keywords are just to be sure. But since this video is just for pizzerias, and we've worked with thousands of them over the years, we know the 3 most valuable ones to rank for because they're also the most searched for. They are number 1, pizza, number 2, pizzeria, and number 3, best pizza. Those are very simple primary keywords, but there's a more advanced keyword strategy that we're going to get into in a moment around making all of your menu items come up at the top when those get searched for. But before we do, let's look at how Chris from Brooklyn Pizza uses these 3 primary keywords. He first sprinkles them throughout the page. It's kind of like seasoning your website with the right flavors. You can't use too much seasoning or it can actually backfire and taste disgusting. If you sprinkle just 2 to 3 of each keyword on your homepage content and in the meta title and meta description of your homepage, you should be all set in terms of achieving the right keyword density. You can see on Chris's website that the reviews he showcases on his homepage have the keywords he's targeting. It's a very clever way to do it. His homepage has 860 words in total. The sweet spot for restaurant SEO tends to be about 850 to 1,000 words because it lets you naturally infuse keywords with other valuable content for your customers, so it doesn't seem robotic or spammy. By the way, if you want me to check out your restaurant's website and give you tips on how to improve it from here for SEO, you can comment your restaurant name and the city it's in down below. I'll give you the top keywords to optimize for, as well as point things out that you can do on your existing site to boost your SEO. Just comment that restaurant name down below. It's free and takes seconds, and I'm more than happy to help. Another major key that Chris uses to show up at the top is alt text. Alt text is the text that you use to tell search engines what an image is. They not only help with the usual Google SEO, but they serve another important benefit. They make you show up at the top of Google images. A lot of people, as we've discussed, love to eat with their eyes when they're searching for restaurants. And when they search, they actually click into images to see which pizza looks the best. So if you have pictures of specific types of pizza, tag them with alt text. You can see on Chris's website, he has Brooklyn Grandma Pizza, alt text tagged on top of the image of his grandma pizza. Same deal with his margarita pizza and every other picture he has on his website. By following these simple SEO tips, his website gets much more attention. If you search for pizza in Short Hills and then click into images, they're almost all of his restaurants. Want to know another trick that Chris uses to quickly boost SEO and make his website stand out? It's actually so important that we're going to give it its own section in this video, which brings us to number 3, creating separate pages for every menu item. When you search for Chris's specific menu items, like Grandma Pizza, Short Hills, New Jersey, or Chicken Parm, Short Hills, New Jersey, he comes up at the top of Google twice. There's only a few people every month that are searching for those items. So on one hand, there's low volumes, but the huge advantage is that there's no competition for any of these terms, since so few restaurants have dedicated pages for menu items. This secret still hasn't gotten out in the restaurant community. There's 3 parts to a successful menu item page. The first part is that beautiful picture of the dish with the right alt text, as you can see here with Chris's example. After a really good food picture, we want to have a detailed description of the dish. The more content, the better, because Google values the page more. And most importantly, the third part is the reviews part. Reviews that mention that dish. The reviews are important because they give Google more content to use and they give the customer more context to use in making their decision about whether to order that specific dish. Why go through all this trouble? As we know, people love pizza, but what kind of pizza? People may be craving more than just cheese or pepperoni. They may want a specific type, and they may be craving specific other items that are on your menu. So if you set up dedicated pages for each of your menu items, since this strategy is new, you're literally most likely the only restaurant in town that uses this secret at this point. Domino's doesn't today, so you'll rank at the top for all of these terms. I'll even do the math for you. Let's say somehow there's only 5 people a month that are searching for each of Chris's 5 most popular dishes. We know that the numbers are higher than this in practice, but to keep the math simple, let's call it 5. At least 5 people a month are in his area searching for cheese pizza, grandma pizza, chicken parm, chicken bacon ranch pizza, or best margarita pizza. That's 25 new people every month just from his 5 most popular dishes that will click into his website because he's now ranked at the top and customers see the delicious pictures of his most popular dishes alongside those reviews. And since they're already craving that specific dish and actively looking for the best options to order from, they are way more likely to convert from website visitor into new customer. You can link them to your online ordering or reservation system directly there so they can actually order it from your restaurant right away. Before we get to the next pizza marketing idea, if you've gotten value from this video so far and want to see more breakdowns on what's working today to grow a restaurant business, then click that subscribe button down below. It's totally free and will send you new email notifications when new tips get posted to make sure you don't miss out on any of the latest strategies to grow a restaurant. I see thousands of restaurants' marketing numbers with my company and constantly share the best learnings from those experiences. That brings us to the next pizza advertising idea, which was a huge surprise to me when I first realized what a big impact it could make. Number 5, improving your conversion rate with a hook. Watch until the end of this section, and I'm going to give you an online code for $1,000. Okay, not actually, but I just grabbed your attention at the top of this section. You may have noticed that in this video, I've started all of our tips with a question or a story or something that keeps your interest and gets you to stay engaged with me. That's called a hook. And if you want to convert more website visitors into customers, you'll need one too. Now, here's the jaw-dropping fact. Most pizzeria websites convert at less than 2%, meaning less than 2% of their website visitors actually become new customers. But with the right strategy, you can skyrocket that number to over 10%. Imagine that, 5 times more customers ordering from your restaurant with the same amount of website visitors. I see it happen all the time, but I also see too many restaurant websites that just have a huge picture of food in the top section and that's it. While that food may look beautiful and delicious, it's not going to be enough to keep somebody's attention today. We have to tell people in a very short period of time, without making them scroll down the page, why our pizzeria is different and better. So what I've seen work best is having a combination of 3 things at the top of the restaurant's website. The first is a section sharing the restaurant's unique positioning and ideally hinting at the story of the restaurant. There's more on that later. The first section should also include a beautiful picture of the most popular dish on the menu. If you can fit it in, social proof is also very helpful in that first section, showing people how popular the restaurant is in its community with its 5-star rating on Yelp or with how many people have placed an order in the past day or similar. In 7 seconds, and without the need to scroll, you need to show why you're different and better. If we look at what Chris does, he nails all 3 of these things in his first section. The first section of his website has that delicious looking food picture, and then it says family operated pizzeria inspired by Brooklyn. It also has the keyword that he's ranking for, best pizza in Short Hills. That first section is his hook section. In less than 2 sentences, Chris had just told us what is different and better about his pizza. It's family operated and inspired by Brooklyn. It's known to be the best pizza in New Jersey. Then immediately under that, he has more food pictures with a preview of his most popular items. Under that, he has a reviews section that people can click through. Now, a hook isn't going to automatically turn your viewers into customers, but using a hook in addition to ensuring that the website is following the magic recipe for conversion absolutely will increase your conversion rate every time. I'm releasing a whole new video about the magic recipe for conversion on a restaurant website where I break it down. So if you found this video helpful so far and want to be notified when that one comes out, then click that subscribe button down below so that it sends you a notification. Anyway, that brings us to the next strategy. Pizza marketing strategy number 6, setting up marketing automations like Domino's. What I mean by this is creating automatic email and text message marketing campaigns for each part of your customer journey to stay top of mind and keep customers engaged. This was the #1 biggest factor in how J. Patrick Doyle turned around Domino's. Before we discuss how to do that, it's important to discuss why it's so important. We all know that turning new customers into regulars is where the real money in the pizza industry is made. Because if you're like most pizzerias, the 20% of the people who are your most loyal regulars end up making over 80% of your profits and revenue. Of course, providing amazing food and a great guest experience is the most important factor in whether guests become regulars. But in the super competitive world of restaurants with so many different options to order pizza from, it's also important that we stay top of mind with the people that are ordering from us. Because if not, people just forget about us. Guests are constantly seeing ads for other restaurants and hearing about other restaurants. So how do we keep them thinking about our restaurant in this very noisy world? You may be thinking, that sounds great, but I don't have time to send email and text message marketing campaign. It's like a full-time job every week to have to log into MailChimp and figure out what to say and how to say it and how to design the email and how to grow my email list. And I didn't sign up for this to learn how to be a digital marketer. I completely understand that it's not realistic to be doing that every week. So what I think is the best strategy is in setting up these messages to send to customers automatically. Here's how. First, you turn your website into an email collecting machine that when people visit their homepage, they immediately are able to see a place where they can opt into their marketing marketing list and see the benefits of doing so. Another good example is my friend Antoinette, the owner of Otavio's in Lakeside. What she does really well is at the top of her website, she has a banner that says, join Otavio's rewards, win $500, be entered in a drawing to win at the end of every month. And then when you click into it, you get a simple pop-up that asks for the customer's name, email, phone number, and birthday for marketing automation. I recommend either doing something like this, or at least having a place that talks about how guests can get alerts on new menu items and specials and events and rewards through joining your online club. Here's an interesting fact that I've learned from working with thousands of restaurants on their marketing. Even among the best websites, over 80% of a restaurant's website visitors will not convert into new customers on that first visit. So that's why it's so important to collect their information, because if you do get that name and email and phone number, you can stay in touch with them and eventually get them to try your place. So once we've got those emails, what exactly do we do? That's where the automatic campaigns come into place and why email marketing is so powerful even in 2023. Let's look at another example that I know well. Metro Pizza, owned by my friends John and Sam. What they do is they have one automatic email campaign that is designed to turn new website visitors who gave us their email but aren't yet customers into paying customers. It starts off by thanking them for signing up for email marketing while showing them pictures of the most popular dishes on the menu. Then, if they don't become new customers within 48 hours of that first email, they send another automated email that offers them a code for ordering online through their website or app to get 20% off their first time. Pictures are key in these welcome emails because people love to eat with their eyes and have already expressed interest in trying your restaurant. So the pictures just make it extra tempting. In multiple emails, they also include the most popular items on the menu, specials, and most importantly, education about why to order directly from the restaurant's website and app rather than on third-party apps like Uber Eats. There's also some of them which tell the restaurant's story about how they started and what their specialties are to build that connection with the email subscriber. Then, once that potential customer becomes an actual new customer, it switches them into the new customer into regular marketing automation. The goal with those emails and texts is to keep the customer ordering by staying top of mind and making it easier for them to build the habit. It sends a reminder of when the day and time that the customer last ordered last week comes up the next week, allowing them to reorder those items in just one tap. It also reminds them when the weekend is coming up. It also cross-promotes dishes so that the guest starts thinking about them for multiple different foods. They say things like, if you liked our Sicilian pizza, you've got to try our tavern pizza, or you've got to try our chicken wings. These automations increase frequency, increase order size, and are important for staying top of mind with customers. Then the last campaign I recommend automating is the customer win-back campaign. This is for people who were regulars at one point, but haven't ordered from the restaurant in at least 3 months. The way Sam from Metro set it up is that anytime a regular hasn't ordered in 3 months, he has an email go out from him saying, hey, we miss you, and we'd love the opportunity to serve you again. If they don't respond to that first email, it then offers them a discount to come back and has all of their favorite foods listed in that email so they can easily click in and order them right from there. In all of these emails that we automate, it's important to have delicious looking food pictures as well as big pictures next to them that allow people to easily click into your online ordering system or your reservation system to go through with actually making that transaction. The easier we make it for the customer to act on these emails, the better results we'll see. With Metro Pizza's campaign tracking, we can see that they've driven $20,500 in additional sales from people placing online orders right from the emails and text messages that they receive from these automations. That's just in the past 30 days alone. The best thing about them is that there's no marketing cost to these sales. There's no need to run ads. And yet annually, that's $240,000 per year that they're adding to their business while simultaneously deepening their connection with regulars by educating them on the menu and turning them into super fans for Metro Pizza. A few different point of sale systems have basic versions of email marketing built in, and you can absolutely use those basic versions to set these types of things up with. But what Metro Pizza uses is the more advanced platform I created called Owner.com, which makes this way easier and provides the whole solution, including powering the banner on their website to collect the emails, integrating the emails with their online ordering system and their branded mobile app, which they also power through Owner, and doing smart marketing automations all in one. So it's all set up and executed for them to maximize their customer value. It also provides the website builder with SEO built in and unique pages for each menu item, along with dozens of other features to increase sales. You can get a free demo of the software at Owner.com to see if it might be a fit for your pizzeria. Anyway, the commercial for Owner is now over, and I want to summarize these 6 ideas that we covered for you and the benefits of each to make them easier to take action on. The first idea that we covered was sending those personalized letters to new movers in your area. The second is creating a unique challenge that gets people talking about and excited about your restaurant. The third is making sure that the restaurant shows up at the top of Google search results for key primary keywords like pizza and best pizza by using search engine optimization strategies. Plus was the little known SEO hack of creating dedicated pages for each menu menu items, using pictures, descriptions, and reviews to create dedicated pages for those menu items to improve the Google rankings. The fifth is using a hook or something interesting and attention grabbing at the top of the website to keep customers engaged and increase the rate that they convert from website visitors into new customers. And finally, the last strategy we covered was using marketing automations like email and text message marketing campaigns at every step of the customer journey to stay top of mind with customers and turn new customers into regulars. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you found it helpful, then I again recommend clicking that subscribe button down below. My company Owner helps thousands of restaurants, and along the way, I constantly learn about new strategies for growing restaurants that I make videos on and post on this channel. So clicking subscribe will make sure you stay up to date with the latest and greatest in what's working in growing a restaurant business today. If you enjoyed this video and want another amazing strategy for acquiring customers, I highly recommend watching the deep dive video I posted on SEO for restaurants the other week. That is a strategy to make sure that your restaurant shows up at the top of Google and gives even more detail than in this video